How you doing, guys? It's LSP. It's Sunday the 6th of January. So this is a market review for the week ahead, from the 6th to the 11th, I believe it is. So I'm going to do a quick breakdown of of the dollar, the euro, and the cable. See what's going on for the coming week. Volume is a bit thin still. It's still very early on, in the beginning of the year, so the market needs to settle a little bit more volume needs to come back into the marketplace. So we are going to be getting some thin price action, and it's that time of year. I just kind of like to take my time. I'm not in a rush. Nobody should really be in a rush to do anything. I know there's traders out there that do and they make money and whatever, but just for me personally, I don't see the need, or I don't feel the impulse to want to get into the marketplace anytime soon, because there's nothing that's popping off the charts. There's movement obviously, but it's not conducive to the kind of trading that I like anyway. So we've got the dollar index. It's a monthly chart. I'm going to keep it very simple. I like to keep my breakdowns very simple. And the whole point of these market reviews is really just to have a kind of a draw on price, a level that we're looking for, and we'll see if the market moves that way or not, and then obviously we can adjust as we go, because we're not always right, obviously, but we can always adjust, our analysis throughout the week. So monthly chart, we have the open down here on this down candle, all right. So we may get some sensitivity. In fact, you know what? Let me take the day dividers off. We may get some sensitivity down here. 95.12 to 95 big figure. So this is a level, that's important. I'm going to be paying attention to this. You can see that the previous month we had some down movement. We've opened up this month, obviously the month of January. We had some up movement first, and then we're getting a little bit of rejection up there. So we may start to get some range expansion into this level here, the 95.12 to 95 big figure, and then we'll see where we kind of take it from there. This up candle right here, okay, that leads to this nice sharp move down, and then we come all the way back through it again. Could offer some. Would be the close, wouldn't it? Yeah, could offer some level of support down here at 94.45 to 94.50 institutional. So these two levels for me are where, just based on the current order flow of price action and where we're at, that's where I believe the market in the near term is going to be reaching for 95. Well, these two levels that I've just said. There's lots of reasons why, obviously, and there's a reason that I marked off this up candle, but you can see the swing point here, okay, and we've gone up, we've come down through that, we've made a new low down here, so there's your previous low, got another low down here, and then we've gone all the way back through that. So think about the movement. We're talking about months of time here. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Some range expansion start to really push, and then we come all the way back up. Taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, 7 months, 8, 9, 10. That's almost a full year of price action, grinding back above the swing point, and then we're kind of coming back up into what is, what should be deemed as, a decent support level. So we're going to go for the down candle, first, and then we're going to go for this level down here, and we're going to see whether these two price levels, offer any sensitivity. We just drop down to the weekly chart and just kind of see where we're at. And you can see, we had a level up here. Okay, that was swept here, did a little bit of work up here. There are other things on the chart, and the reason why it came up to. Sorry, I've just moved out a little bit. That it came up to this level to rebalance and to mitigate some of the position, but the main bulk of the move has kind of happened. It's taken out the swing point here, mitigated some of its position, then it's kind of grinding slowly. So these are the levels. These are the levels down here. We're not that far away from them, so definitely going to be paying attention to these two levels going into this week. Daily wise, consolidation really. You can see we're in a consolidation. Let me take this off. You can see that we're in a consolidation. So I'd like to see how price reacts at this level. If we come down here and we get a really nice sharp reaction off this level rejection, that will give us more information. But right now, I personally believe that the draw on price is lower, and I think that we're going to be reaching for these levels. And then we can take it from there and see what happens. There is a very small inefficiency just here, so it would make sense that it would want to come down here, take out the low here, fill in this inefficiency, rebalance price. There is another inefficiency down here. I don't know if we'd want to come down as low as 94 big figure to around about 94.15. I think that would be a little bit too low. That up candle right there is probably going to stop price. Okay, at a previous swing point down here, we came down, took out the stops. I'll show you. Look, I'm just loosely going over this because I want to keep these videos like to a reasonable time. But you can see, sorry, I've done the wrong one. We had the previous low down here, and we came down. We swept it a few times, ever so slightly. Some nice reaction away from that. We've come all the way back down. So, like I said, there's a very small imbalance. Excuse me. There's a very small imbalance. It would make sense that it would want to come down there and fill that in. So we'll see. We'll see. For now, I am lower. I think the draw on price is going to be lower. We'll just drop down to a 4 hour just to kind of see. Small little gap up here that was filled in. Some rejection here. Yeah, makes perfect sense. We've got some equal lows down here as well. Makes perfect sense that it's going to be grinding into these levels. So that's definitely what I'm going to be looking for going into this week. We'll just jump over to the euro. These are the levels obviously that I marked off. This is the monthly level. Obviously we're not paying attention to this just yet. I just want it on my chart so I'm aware of it and that it's there. But this is a big deal. If it gets back up there, it's a big deal. But you can see what's interesting to note is I've marked out these equal lows down here. If price comes lower and take out these equal lows, I'm going to be looking for a reason to go long on euro going into this week. But again, I want to kind of see where we fare with this. One of the main reasons why I'm looking at euro in the way that I'm looking at it in terms of me wanting to try and find a long on euro, it's not just because the dollar, I believe the dollar's draw on price is lower, that it's going to be reaching for lower liquidity. That's not why. That's part of the reason. The biggest reason is the cable. Actually, you can see that we made a higher high here on the euro. Okay, and if you go over to cable, you can see that the cable made a lower low. Okay, so cable's overshot here. Taking out the liquidity below here. And then we had a really nice reversal, and it kind of looks like it's going to be grinding its way higher. So I do believe that cable is going to start moving higher into this week. You can see it's a little bit more pronounced on the weekly. We grinding lower, grinding lower, grinding lower. We rebalance price at this point. All the way across over here, we rebalance price. And then we came down again. Takes out all the liquidity below here. Get some really nice rejection away from that. So it is possible, and I'm going to mark off the mean threshold of that candle right there. And it is possible that we're going to start grinding our way towards 129.19, 129.20 institutional. I will also put the open. These two price levels here is where we should find some level of sensitivity, but where price is right now, there's definitely enough room to take a 20 to 30 pip trade, which is really all I'm looking for. But I'll kind of see how it fares, and obviously things can change very, very quickly, when you're trading. But going into this week, I am expecting lower dollars, so bullish foreign currencies. But that's where I stand with cable, and I'll go back to euro in a second. But this is the daily of cable. It would make sense that we kind of grind into this level. I'm just trying to see if there's any inefficiencies, which there isn't. Just drop down to the 4 hour 1 second, just zoom out one more. See, we've rebalanced there. Sorry, I'm using the trackpad. We've rebalanced here. Got some equal highs here, so we've got some buy stops above here. Obviously, we've got the previous high here, so it makes perfect sense. That level right here, and I'll tell you what I'll do. That level right there. I'd like to see price get through this convincingly. This is what effectively I'm going to be looking for. That's effectively what I'm going to be looking for. And then I move into these levels. I'd like to see price go through this, but not take out this high. So we're not that far away from it, to be honest. Let me get the crosshair up. I'll just show you. So from here to here, we're talking about 100 pips. I'd like to see price run higher, but not take out this high. Okay, then come back down into this level, then a move higher, and obviously, you know, there's your 20 or 30 pip trade. So for now, I'm going to take these off, but I'm going to leave the levels on, just to kind of clean up the chart a little bit. And that's what I'm going to be looking for on cable. Let's go back over to the euro. Euro is getting a little bit messy for me, and I said this in the previous video, the catch-up video. It's a little bit messy. The imbalance has almost been filled in. It makes sense that it's going to grind up there. If there was a level that I would expect, you know, based on what the dollar's doing, based on what cable's doing, if there was a level that I would expect price to kind of want to grind up into, this is going to be it. You know, 114.45, so 114.50 is really the level where I'm expecting price to go up into. We'll do that so you can see it a bit better. But 114, well, basically 114.50, this up candle. That's where I'm expecting price to go. But it may be messy going into this week. I'm still going to leave the equal lows down here. Let me just get rid of this price point, because I'm still looking at these equal lows down here. It is possible that cable just does its own thing, you know, and the euro just kind of grinds sideways while cable catches up, or cable, you know, has a run, you know, and then we might switch midweek, and then, you know, euro does its thing. But these are all things, it's kind of like a loose analysis of what we're looking for, what we want to see, and there's obviously a lot more, you know, that I'm seeing on the charts, but I don't want to overdo it and just have my charts all cluttered up with a bunch of stuff. I just want to keep these videos very simple and very basic in terms of what I'm looking for and what I'm going to be looking for going into this week. And then obviously I'll do a midweek video as well, or if I see something, or if I see a trade that I like, you know, I'll throw that up on YouTube as well. But that's kind of where we're at, you know, with going into this week. There's really no rush at all. Okay, if I don't get a trade this week, that's fine. I'll get a trade the week after, or the week after that. There's really no rush, and this is the biggest thing in trading. You've just got to be patient and wait for these things to unfold. But the biggest issue I believe that most traders have is that they're not aware of what they're doing before they do it. And what I mean by that is, I've marked off my levels here on cable, based on what I'm seeing with the rejection here and the liquidity taken below. It doesn't mean that this downtrend changes or anything like that. I don't really care whether cable's bullish or bearish. All I'm looking for is levels of liquidity or levels of rebalancing where price, in theory, should need to go to either mitigate, to rebalance, you know, to scoop up liquidity. And if I can find that area, that level, and it makes sense to me conceptually and from a experience point of view, then there's a trade there for me. While price is running into that level, and as long as there's a 30 to 40 pip, you know, range there, you know, and I know I can get the trade that I'm looking for, great, I'll take the trade. There is no bullish or bearish bias. I don't really have a bullish or bearish bias going into this week. I kind of try to eliminate that bullish and bearish bias idea. I'm just looking for where price is seeking for liquidity, you know, and if I can get that right most of the time, I'm going to make money. So I'll leave it at that. You know, we'll keep it simple. These are the levels that we're looking for. You need to obviously go over the video again just for the levels and, you know, and what I'm going to be looking for. My main focus this week is going to be on cable. That might change obviously, but my main focus to start going into this week is going to be on cable. This is the level, like I said, that I'm waiting for, you know, cable to go through. Depends what happens on Sunday open, but I'm going to let Sunday and Monday kind of do its thing, and then I'll you know, look to take a trade on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, depending on what happens, you know, throughout the week. But we'll see. we'll see. So that's what I'm going to be looking for on cable. I really like this rejection. I'm a big fan of rejection. I like to see these moves away from these levels. And if we do, get through this convincingly and it starts to grind higher into these levels, then obviously we'll reassess and see if there's anything else that we can find on the upside that it may be reaching for. But for me, based on everything that I've just gone through, I'm going to be focused on cable, and maybe we'll find something, quick scalp on euro. But I'm only looking for one trade a week, so we'll take it from there. All right, guys. So take care, and I will speak to you in the next video. All the best.